is one strike away. The 0-2. A bouncer. Ruiz. In time! Roy Halladay has thrown a no-hitter.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of The Mind. We're on episode 10. We are once again recording live at Studio 105. We got some exciting things coming up for you this episode. Some WWE talk, Survivor Series. AJ Styles is your new champion. We got the NBA. We got the NFL. We got the NASCAR playoff update. We got college football. It's getting exciting. It's going to be an exciting weekend of college football this week. And, of course, introducing college basketball for the first time this year. Most exciting time of the year. We got the holidays coming up. It's great. Here we go. And here's a look at your top 25 college football playoff rankings. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Notre Dame. Number 4, Clemson. Those are our top 4. And as we all know, the top 4 go on into the playoff, college football playoff. So let's take a look at their games this upcoming week. Number 1, Georgia is on the road this week against Auburn. That's going to be a tough test for them, but they will win the game. Number 2, at Mississippi State is Alabama. They're going against Mississippi State. Number 1 and 2 on the road, along with number 3 on the road, Notre Dame. And this is the matchup of the week, the Mind's game of the week. Notre Dame, number 3, going into Miami, who is ranked number 7 and currently undefeated. The Miami has a lot of hype right now. They all got the turnover chain, which I think is awesome, by the way. But Notre Dame, being a fan of Notre Dame, I believe they will win the game this week in a classic rivalry matchup. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm thinking 27-24, Notre Dame wins. Clemson on the road, at home against Florida State. I believe they will win this game relatively handily. Florida State is nothing what they were last couple years. They are not looking good at all. Clemson rolls against Florida State. Let's look right quick at number 8, Wisconsin. Undefeated this week at Iowa. Iowa's not a bad team, come off a big win last week. And then now they are currently ranked 20th. Wisconsin can win that game. Do they get in the discussion of, the top 4 since they are undefeated? We will see. All right, folks, we are entering what I consider the best time of the year. We got the holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving. We all get to eat really, really good. We got Christmas coming up. Everybody loves Santa Claus. Everything is great this time of year. And what adds most to it is college basketball is back, and it is great. All right, so let's take this look at the college top 10 of the top 25. Starting things off, there's a school from Durham ranked number 1 in the preseason polls. I think their name rhymes with puke. I'm not sure exactly, but I think that's what it is, yeah. Michigan State, Arizona, Kansas, Kentucky, Villanova, Wichita State, Florida, the great UNC, and USC round out your top 10 of the top 25 this year in the preseason rankings. Duke, Kentucky always bring in great recruiting classes, so we'll see how they do. Carolina, your defending national champions, they bring back some key pieces in Joel Berry, Pinson, Luke May, amongst others from the championship team. They got some good guys coming in there, so I'm expecting them to do really well this year. I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to repeat this year. That might be the fan in me, but that's what I think. So, but I do believe that this is going to be a great college basketball season. Like I said, it's the greatest time of the year coming up. You got the holidays. You got football. You got everything going on, football, college basketball, a whole bunch of good stuff going on in the sports world around this time. So Here you go, guys. Their first look at this year's college basketball rankings and a little bit about what's going on. All right, let's take a quick look at the NBA. We're going to begin with the Eastern Conference. Celtics running things at 9-2. The Pistons are up in there. They're in the top 8. There's a lot of surprising teams that are in the top 8. You know, you got the Knicks who are at 6-5. You got the Hornets are there at 5-6, but they're looking pretty good. Surprising teams this year who are not good in the East. You know, obviously right now the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do suspect them to turn things around, of course, with LeBron James and company. But right now, you know, they're not looking good. They're not looking good. So this will be interesting to see what happens upcoming in the East this year. All right, now to take a quick look at the Western Conference. Right now, the Rockets are on top, tied with Golden State, both at 9-3. Right now, the West is kind of a cluster right now. You know, everyone's right there like 7-4, right there in that kind of record. And to take a team that's disappointing, we looked at the Cleveland Cavaliers on the East. Let's look at the Thunder on the West, sitting there at 4-7. You know, with Paul George, Westbrook, and Carmelo, you know, people are expecting big things out of them this year. Still got time to change around, but will that work? I'm not sure if it's going to work there in England, Oklahoma, with all them 3 players. But we will see. I think they need to give a little bit more time before they make any decisions or anything like that when it comes to players. But and also looking at the NBA, you know, looking at the rookies, Malik Monk's playing well. Ben Simmons, who's considered a rookie this year because he didn't play a lot or at all last year, he's playing well. A lot of rookies playing good. Fox playing well. Dennis Smith Jr. Down there in Dallas. But now let's take a look who's not playing well. Only scored double digits twice the entire year so far is Lonzo Ball. You know, he's getting a lot of assists and he's racking up the rebounds and stuff, but the scoring has just not been there besides the 2 games where he scored more than 10 points. So every other game besides 2, he scored 9 or less points. So not saying he's a bust or anything, but we need to see what he's capable of sooner than later down there in the Lakerland. So that's a look at your NBA. All right, and here's an update on your Monster Energy NASCAR Playoff Series. We're going to give you an update on that. This week they're racing at Phoenix, and this is the last race before the final race, so this is the last chance for some people to get in to the Final Four. Right now, locked into the Final Four is Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick, who won last week at Texas. There's a couple other guys who still have a chance in the top 8 to make it to the Final Four, going into next week's final race of the year at Homestead down in Miami to see who won the championship. So that's your update on the NASCAR playoffs. All right, just a quick update on the WWE. What's going on in the WWE world? AJ Styles is once again your WWE champion, you know, representing SmackDown, beating Jinder Mahal this last Tuesday on SmackDown Live in the UK, which is the first time a world championship changed hands anywhere else other than American soil. So that's pretty cool. And that means we're going to have AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series if things stay the way they are. I'm pretty sure they will. So we're going to have AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. It's going to be awesome. And then on the Raw side of things, 2/3 of Shield, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose lost their tag team championships against Sheamus and Cesaro on Raw. And then announced today, John Cena will be the 5th member of SmackDown Live going into Survivor Series. We'll have an update next week before the Survivor Series match. And here are your top 5 scores for Week 9. Ryan Hilton, Indianapolis Colts wide receiver, had 5 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns, totaling 35 fantasy football points. Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints running back, had 10 carries, 68 yards, a touchdown to go along with 6 receptions for 84 yards and another touchdown, totaling 31 fantasy football points. Marvin Jones Jr., receiver of the Detroit Lions, had 7 catches, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 29 fantasy football points. Jared Goff, quarterback of the Rams, on the list again this year, went 14 of 22, 311 yards, and 4 touchdowns, and a win over the Giants, while he totaled 28 fantasy football points. Tyrod Taylor, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, had a day. He went 29 of 40, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns to go along with 6 rushes, 35 yards, another touchdown, totaling 28 fantasy football points. And those are your Week 9 top scorers. And here are 5 players probably available in your fantasy league
that you should pick up.
Remember back in week 1, Danny Woodhead got hurt? Well, he's coming back soon, and he's only still owning about 25% of leagues. Another injured player, he's not available in a lot of leagues, but he is coming back. He's owned in 44% of leagues, and that is Greg Olsen, the tight end of the Carolina Panthers. Him and Newton, the last 3 years, all over 1,000 yards. You can get him, pick him up. Yet again, another injured player that's coming back, eligible to return, not this week, but next week, is Corey Coleman, receiver of the Cleveland Browns. He was looking to be their number 1 target going into the season, so when he comes back, still suspect the same. Josh McCown of the Jets, they have been putting points on the board last couple weeks, and he is actually looking like a really good quarterback. There's a couple bye weeks coming up, so if you need a quarterback for bye, this is kind of a safe pickup based off the last few weeks. Another Jets player in the last one for the week, Robbie Anderson, the receiver for the Jets, putting up huge numbers last couple weeks. I own him in my team. He's doing me very good. Pause. 46% of the leagues he is owned in. Pick him up if you can. All right, here are your top 5 matchups for Week 10. Todd Gurley, running back of the Rams, going against Houston. Houston has a good defense, but I'm suspecting Todd Gurley to have a huge day against Houston. Antonio Brown going against the Colts. Colts are not looking good on defense at all. Antonio Brown. Also against the Colts, I will say pick up and play Big Ben Roethlisberger if you can. He's in your top 5 matchup this week. Dak Prescott against Atlanta with Zeke out. A lot of it's going to be on him, expecting him to run the ball more out the backfield, and also look for them to throw the ball a lot more than usual due to Zeke being suspended. Finally, I believe, confirmed and will probably stick this time. Also this week, Christian McCaffrey, Monday night against Miami Dolphins. I'm expecting him to have a huge game on Monday night. A little bit of a coming out party for him. And there are your top 5 matchups for Week 10. Alright, so we are joined here today on the very first segment of Squad Up. And Squad Up is going to be a segment where we call our fans and we just figure out their favorite team during the season and why that's their favorite team. We are joined first on the first segment of this by Mike from New Jersey. Before we get started,
how's it going, everybody out there?
Hey, it's going good, man. Before we get going, I would like to send a shout out to your show, the Ziggy and the Nelson show, who actually just had their reunion show a couple nights ago on YouTube. So we look forward to more shows of that, man. Can't wait to see what
I would like to thank you in advance, my friend. But let me cut you off. It's not YouTube, it is on Facebook. If you like our page and we get enough likes, who knows, maybe we'll get back to it. We have at least 2 more shows going on over the holiday break. Sometime before Thanksgiving and sometime just before Christmas for all of you out there. Go to the page, Ziggy and the Nelson, like it, share it, tell all your friends, watch some videos. If you start from the first video, you can laugh at us. If you start with the last video, you can laugh with us.
Alright, I like that. Hey, I'm a dedicated follower of the show. It's an awesome time. So everybody out there that watching the Mind, definitely make sure you check it out. We'll make sure that we'll put the link up on our page and all that good stuff. Alright, so let's get started here. Okay, so we're in the NFL season. We're in some other seasons too, but I know you're an NFL fan. So who is your favorite NFL team?
I have to go with the New York Football Giants.
All right.
100%.
100% New York Football Giants. Got you. Why do you like the Giants?
Now, this is a funny story that Nello faced. I grew up in a family of Eagles. When I say a family, I mean my in-house family, my grandparents. Pretty much everybody who was around me was an Eagles fan.
Right.
Now, I was always a fan of football growing up. My parents would have it on, because I enjoyed it. That's the only way I would go potty when I was, younger. But in first grade, elementary school, I was able to branch out from the kids section in the library to the bigger kids section. The first thing that I did was I went straight to the sports section, and I went to the football, and I pulled out, the first book was a picture of, I believe, Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms. And it was the history of the 80s Giants into the early 90s. And I read that book probably 4 times cover to cover. I learned all about Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor, and learned everything about the New York Football Giants, late 80s, early 90s, and it was just amazing. And that's what actually drew me towards the New York Football Giants.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know, they're down a little bit this time. They're down a little bit this year.
Let me give you some analysis on my side here. So to begin with, ever since we got Odell Beckham Jr., he is our only wide receiver that we ever used, right?
Correct.
So for the first 3 or 4 games, he probably had about 10 to 15 targets, where everyone else had maybe 5 to 7. Sterling Shepard probably around 7 or 8. They didn't spread the ball around. So everyone knew, let's double up the safety coverage, let's put him in cover 2, we're always going to have a double team on Odell Beckham. And we got destroyed. The New York Football Giants made believe that we had a standard squad like the last 20 years that I've been watching them, where the first play of the game, and I will put my fucking lunch money on it, that they will do either a dive left or a dive right on the first play every single game for the last 10 years that I can count. And they throw quick slants, in routes, and post routes with their tight end. Now, Evan Ingram, the new tight end, I believe this is his 3rd, maybe 4th week with the team that he's a starter and actually being utilized. Our scores are getting a lot higher because we're putting our tight end back in the game. We are making our third string wide receivers run slant routes and quick ins and quick outs like the New York Football Giants have my whole life. And we're producing now. We may not be winning games, but we got our first win without any of our starters.
Yeah, that is very observant there. And, you know, me, I love football pretty much my whole life, like yourself. I grew up watching. Now, with me, when the Giants are good, they have a good offensive line, a really good run game, and, of course, they always have Eli Manning since we've been pretty much almost kids now. So we kind of came up since 2003, 4, something like that.
Wow, that's even further than I thought, man. No.
So you don't
16
have...
years old.
Yeah, it was...
I think it was 16. 2005. I'll take it.
2005. All right, but this year, from the observing team, you have no offensive line, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here. No offensive line, and your run game is pretty much non-existent. Do you believe that is one of the main causes? And your defense was a top 5 defense last year. What's up with your defense this year? You're allowing points, so you know you're up there. What they're saying on the radio, the shows up there. You let me know what's going on in Giants football world.
All right. Football Giants going on and that is a little bit of airtime that they get because the New York Jets are actually having a pretty decent season this year. So everyone's sucking the dick of the Jets, and everyone forgot about the New York Football Giants. And it's really, really concerning to me considering that the New York Football Giants always have winning years and they never really get that limelight. But the 1 or 2 seasons that the Jets had in the past 5 years that they had a somewhat of a winning record, New Jersey, New York, they are all green. The newscast is saying the New Jersey Jets, they should be the New Jersey Jets. Why aren't they the New Jersey Jets? And I got a little backstory on that to begin with because I want to say senior year, maybe 2008, 2007, I saw the first and the only commercial for a New York Jets stadium in New York City to where we were finally going to kick them green bastards out of our stadium, possibly become the New Jersey Giants, and have the New York Jets keep the New York name. When it comes down to the running game, I'm sorry, man, I'm going to have to correct you on the fact that we have not had a running game in the past 3 to 5 years. You can look up the stats. I don't think we've had more than 10, 20-yard rushing plays in the past couple seasons. Look that stat up. I will say under 10 runs that went over 20 yards. We have not had a good running back since we had the three-headed dragon. Forgive me for forgetting their names. I remember Brandon Jacobs was one of them. They had
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw, thank you. I was thinking his last name was Ahmad. It's Ahmad Bradshaw. So it was Ahmad Bradshaw and who's the third guy? There's a third guy who turned into the punt returner, and when he turned to the punt returner, I said, that's a dumbass move, Tom Coughlin, because he's going to get broken, and he got broken about 3 or 4 games after that. Doing the punt return.
Well, I can't remember his name right now. We're going to have to look that one up. If we had a stat guy here on the show, we could do that, but we don't. All right, switching gears a little bit. Not switching gears. All right, you're going against the winless 49ers this week. And, of course, you're a one-win team. Give me who wins and why.
I'm going to say the New York Football Giants are finally going to have an upset. I'm going to say that the tight end, Evan Ingram, is going to have 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say Sterling Shepard's going to have 1 touchdown. And if we do have a rushing touchdown, it's going to be Orland Darkwa.
Erwin Darkwa. I was going to say Eli Manning runs for a touchdown, and then we all be...
Eli Manning. Yeah, sure. I actually believe he tacked on his longest rushing touchdown this season 2 weeks ago, and it was, I think, 10 or 12 yards.
All right. I got 2 more questions for you. I'm going to let you go, because I know it's busy there on the Parkway. First question. Do you draft quarterback first round this year?
No, we wait 1 more year because we have the Iron Man of football right now with the longest standing start streak. Only behind his brother Peyton and what the fuck was the other guy's name? I'm sorry.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, thank you. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce Brett Favre. Brett Favre. All he thinks is before.
All right. I said 2 questions, but I really got 2 more. Okay, since you don't go quarterback, what position you take? I'm thinking running back for you guys in the first round this year.
Again, I'm going to have to disagree with you. I believe that Orland Darkwa is a very fast and powerful runner. The problem that he has right now is that he has no experience of being able to move left and right. So this dude, if you tell him to run straight, he will run right over the line, even if there's no hole. And that is my biggest concern about him, is the fact that because we do not have an offensive line to give him those holes to run through, he is not smart enough to make those end arounds. So what my first round draft pick is going to be is a guard to open up them running holes.
All right, got you. One more question for you. Ben McAdoo is your coach next year, if you're GM.
Say that again?
All right, you're GM of the Giants. You got a dream job of every man out there being a GM of a football team. Do you keep Ben McAdoo? Do you keep Ben McAdoo?
I give him a half-year trial to see what he does to the football team, because he is not playing New York Football Giants football. He is not following what every other successful Giants team has done in the past. He is trying to make this into a one-way football game. I do not agree with him. I'm not a fan of the guy right now, but I'm always behind my blue team no matter what.
All right, got you. Hey, man. It was great getting in touch with you. Thank you for joining us on the first segment of Squad Up. Can't wait to see the Ziggy and the Nelson show here in a couple weeks with the holiday show. Very looking forward to it, man. We're going to plug your show for you. And hopefully we'll get up with you here in a couple weeks, see how the New York Football Giants are doing.
Sounds good, man. Everyone, don't forget, go to the Ziggy and the Nelson page on Facebook.com, like the page, share the page, check out the show, man. Like I said, if you want to laugh at us, watch the first show. If you want to laugh with us, watch the last show. It's been fun.
All right,
Zigging out the New Jersey Garden State Cash Cow.
All right, man. Check it out, man. We'll check you later, bro.
Have a good one.
All right, man. Champ, baby, it's still your weekly pick, champ. Woo!
What's up, everybody? I am Nelson. I am still your champ. Back again with us, not breaking Manco this time, is Mr. T-Ville. How's your shoulder doing? I dunked on you last week. Your shoulder doing all right?
It's all right, man. I had to ice it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I bounced back hard. You feel me?
All right, so here we go with the week 10 weekly picks.
Starting off this week, we have New Orleans going to visit the Buffalo Bills.
Go ahead, Challenger.
New Orleans, Buffalo Bills. Okay, the Saints are on a roll right now, man. The Bills disappointed me last week. The offense was struggling a lot. So I think the Saints, their defense, Marcus Lattimore, shut down corner, I think is going to do some damage. And so I'm going to go Saints on this one. I believe they can pull it out.
All right, I am going to go with the team that circled the wagons better than anybody else in the league, the Buffalo Bills, and they're going to win and end the 6-game winning streak for the New Orleans Saints. Shit.
We have the Green Bay Packers going to visit the Chicago Bears.
All right, Green Bay Packers, how they've been the last couple weeks are without Aaron Rodgers. And Brett Hundley, although he shows signs of being decent at times, I'm not buying Chicago's defense is really good. They pick up the win this week against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chicago on this one considering, the big bad boy Aaron Rodgers is out. And I think they're going to be struggling from here on out. With that, I think Brent Hundley is going to get better as the season goes on, but I'm still going to go Bears in this one.
Go Bears.
The Bears.
All right, we have the Cleveland Browns going to visit the Detroit Lions.
God, man, I really, really want the Browns to win, but I don't think it's going to be this week. If they do, I feel good for them, but they're not going to win. So I'm going to go Detroit Lions and Matt Stafford.
Yeah, the Browns not going to pull a W out on this one again, man. I'm going Detroit.
All right, there you go. The Loins.
All right, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to visit the Tennessee Titans.
I'm going to go Tennessee on this one, man. I think they're going to bounce back, and the Bengals defense is just struggling right now. Not Carson Palmer, but Andy Dalton is just not looking. I mean, he had a good week last week, but I think he's going to continue to struggle, especially against the Titans defense, so I'm going Titans.
All right, you're tightening up. I'm tightening down. They will lose this week against the Cincinnati Bengals and the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. Look for A.J. Green to have a huge week this week, coming off the MMA fight against Jalen Ramsey last week. He's coming back. He's scoring touchdowns. Bengals in a big blowout win over the Titans.
All right, we have the Pittsburgh Steelfathers going to visit the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm going to take this one, and I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I'm being an analyst, I'm not a fan. Colts Nation all the way, man. But obviously, defense is struggling right now. Our rookie Malik Hooker safety is out. We got a couple injuries. We just released Vontae Davis. And then, of course, our star Andrew Luck is still out for probably the remainder of the season. And Pittsburgh is just rolling right now, so I'm going to be truthful, and I'm going Pittsburgh on this one.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Me as a fan, it's always a hard time going against your favorite team. But, with the Colts being down this year, I'm going to take the Steelers as well. Big Ben, AB, and Le'Veon Bell have a huge game against the depleted Colts defense, and the Steelers win the game.
All right, we have the New York Jets going to visit the Tampa Bay Bucks.
All right, I'm going to take the New York Jets, because Jameis Winston last week, he wanted to have a W sandwich win the game, but it didn't work out for him. He was all boo-booed hurt on the sideline. He was like, boo-boo-boo. He's trying to back, and Mike Evans came and smacked some Saints player out of nowhere. They look just dysfunctional as a team altogether. So I'm going to take the Jets over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, the Buckalosers, the no bucks. I don't have a buck.
I'm going to go to the other side on this one, and I'm going to go Buccaneers, man. I think they're hungry for a win, obviously. And I think James is going to – I'm not going to eat a W.
Yeah, but he ain't playing this week, so –
Oh, damn.
Who you got? You still taking the Bucks?
I'm going Jets.
All right, Jets. Jets.
We have the Minnesota Vikings going to visit the Washington Redskins.
All right, Washington Redskins coming off a huge win in Seattle last week. Not a lot of teams go into Seattle and win the game, but they did do that last week. But they lose at home this week to the Minnesota Vikings. Just because I think the Vikings are an overall better team. The Washington Redskins offense still looks terrible, even with the win. I think they scored like 12 points against the Seahawks there. Still got the dub. But I'm going to go Minnesota Vikings with a big game from from Stephon Diggs. Can you dig it?
That boy
Sucker!
on. I'm just waiting for that boy Teddy Bridgewater to step on the field, man, and see what he can do. He's finally been cleared, so I'm looking to see him hopefully sometime soon. I'm gonna go Vikings on this one, man. Redskins barely pulled out a win against a good Seahawks defense, but I think that Vikings team is on the road, so I'm going Vikings.
Minnesota.
We have the Chargers going to visit the Jaguars.
All right, the Chargers are coming to the East Coast. West Coast teams never do good when they travel all the way over the East Coast. I got a little bit of heartburn, but you know who's going to be hurting? The Phil Rivers, because the Jacksonville Jaguars win the game against Phil Rivers and the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jacksonville in this one too, man. That defense is looking like the top defense in the NFL right now, and I don't think Philip Rivers is gonna be able to handle that. Although he's got a lot of weapons at his disposal, I think it's gonna be a good game. But I'm gonna go with Jacksonville in this one.
And we have the Houston Texans going to visit the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, last week Jared Goff and the Los Angeles Rams traveled east, and they actually won, proving the whole West Coast thing sometimes don't always come to fruition. But Jared Goff is balling this year. Todd Gurley is balling this year. The defense is decent. So I'm going to go Rams with the W come Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams on this one, man. They're on the road. That defense is looking good. The run game is looking awesome. Sammy Watkins had a big game last week, and Jared Goff is really coming in and maturing as the season goes on. So I'm taking LA Rams.
There you go, the Rams. Rams.
All right, we have the Ezekiel-less Dallas Cowboys facing the Atlanta Falcons.
Still on because I'm still the champ. And you know what? Even without Zeke, the Cowboys go into Atlanta, a hot Atlanta, and get the win. Dak Prescott had a huge game, and Zeke, not Zeke, but Dez comes back from the little knee and ankle injury he had last week, and I'm predicting 2 touchdowns at least from Dez Bryant this week if he does play.
Okay. Man, this is going to be a tough one for me, but I'm going to go opposite here. I'm going to go Atlanta Falcons. Ezekiel being out, I think is going to really hurt the offense in general. The run game is not going to be as good as they are with Zeke in the lineup, and I think it's going to hurt the overall offense in the game, and Atlanta's going to have a big offensive output, so I'm going Atlanta Falcons.
Boo!
All right, we have the Giants going to take on the 49ers.
Before we get started here, let me take off my belt because they don't deserve to see my belt because I'm the champ and neither of them will be the champs anytime soon. I am taking the San Francisco 49ers over the New York Giants football team because they're terrible. They're lost. They don't even want to play no more. They got people skipping practice. So I'm going to take the 49ers in their first win of the season.
Okay. The Giants are terrible, man. They're bad, but they're not that bad. And I'm going to take Giants on this one.
It's because he's a closet Giants fan. He has picked the Giants every week but one. That 1 week that he didn't pick them, he won that game.
All right, my time to shine. Sorry.
You're
Anyway, like I said, I'm going to take Giants in this one. Like I said, they're bad, but they're not that bad. I think the 49ers are struggling. I don't think they take a W this week, so I'm going Giants. Eli Manning. He'll have a big game this week, man.
All right. You throwing the ball to who? You? He ain't throwing the ball to nobody else.
We have the New England Patriots on this Sunday night going to visit the Denver Broncos.
All right, so we got the last 2 Super Bowl champions go against each other here. Of course, Broncos, they're far away from what they were once they won when they won a Super Bowl against the Carolina Panthers. But I'm going to take the Patriots over the Broncos. Tom Terrific does Tom terrific things, and he wins the game.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots over this one, man. They just added an addition to their tight end position with Martellus Bennett claiming off waiver from Green Bay. I think that's going to make that offense a little bit more dynamic because they're going to go back to that 2 tight end double tight system. Going to be killing guys, Martellus Bennett and Gronk on the edges, and that helps block in the run game too. But anyway, other than that, I'm going Patriots on this one.
Pats.
All right, on this Monday night, we have the Miami Dolphins going to visit the Carolina Panthers. Tell me who wins and the score.
All right, the Carolina Panthers win this game. Why? Because they're better than the Dolphins. The Dolphins are trading away. They traded away Jay Ajayi. Now that Jay is getting rolled with Blunt up in Philly. See what I did there? Either way, Panthers win 27-14. Big game from Cam Newton on Monday night. Always plays good on Monday night. And I'm predicting at least 2 touchdowns from my man CMC, Christian McCaffrey.
Your score?
27-14.
27-14? Okay, I'm going to go Carolina Panthers on this one too, man. I think that them boys are going to ball out this week, and Cam Newton's going to have a good game. The run game is going to pick it up a little bit more, and I'm going to go 24-14 Panthers.
There you go. There you have it. That is your Week 10 picks. Remember to leave your picks in the comment box below and all that good stuff. So we'll see you next week on Weekly Picks. I am the champ, and I'll be the champ next week 10 times in a row. 10. I'm going for 11, baby. Here we go.
Right, let's fake.
Well, come on, man. Ain't got something to fake. You fake. All right, and there you have it, everybody. The episode is done. Thank you for joining us once again on The Mind, and we will see you next week. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, wherever we share it. You share it with us, and we'll see you next week on The Mind.
Who knocks out everybody and no one can whoop him. That's when that little Cassius Clay from Louisville, Kentucky came up and stopped Sonny Liston, the man who annihilated Floyd Patterson Pike. He was going to kill me. He hit harder than George. His reach was longer than George. He's a better boxer than George. And I'm better now than I was when you saw that 22-year-old undeveloped kid running from Sonny Liston. I'm experienced now, professional.
This is the fight of the century, the thriller in Manila. I'm the greatest, I know niggas hate it, but I never face it. Keep my patience, I'm just rolling with the punches, keep my guard though. The world wanna see me down, but I can never fall though. Hit me with your best shot, I hit you with the okey doke. The best way to rope it dope. You think he game me just a joke. Keep it moving, hitting out the game just like the hokey poke. Sonny wasn't listening, now my belt's glistening.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you, I know you got him. I know you got him, Dick. But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
You're being extremely truculent. Whatever succulent means, if that's good, I'm that.
I'm gon' shock the world, I'm gon' shock the world. They gon' know my name, they won't see it coming when I take rank. Take on hard challenges, we gon' see who swing the Excalibur. Never pull my punches, I damage ya. Born to be champion, it's flowing through my veins. From a young boy with dreams of how one day to change the game, I hold my torch high, just respect my flame. Cause I know when I'm gone, the world will probably never be the same. I'm the greatest.
Greatest thing that ever lived. Now, I don't have a mark on my face, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world, he wanted to go to heaven, so I took him in 7. You took him in 7. I am the king of the world. Hold it. I'm pretty. Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world.